Well, it's Monday, and now we get to take a look at some box office numbers for Eternals. And, well, depending on which side of the media aisle you're on, apparently it was either a huge success or a total failure. But the movie looks like it brought in just about what everyone expected, between 65 and 75 million, landing at 71 million here in the United States. But it doesn't look like Disney is particularly confident. As remember how last week everyone said how stunning and brave that Disney was for refusing to edit out the two men kissing, how stunning and brave and awesome they were because they were willing to forego that money, willing to take it on the chin and lose money. Well, they removed it. Because of course they did. Of course they did. This hilarious hypocrisy is brought to you by Meta PCs. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Meta PCs. Now I know you're not going to run out and quick buy a brand new computer just because I ran this ad, but what I would hope is that you'll keep Meta PCs in mind for a variety of reasons and use my promo code TheQuartering to save big at checkout. Look, Meta PCs offers custom configurations. It has insane parts availability. They're one of the few people I see out there with the brand new NVIDIA 3090 in stock and shipping. When you buy from them, they offer you build photos as they work along. When you receive your PC, it's ready to go out of the box. It's 100% US-based sales and support. And one of my favorite things, it's a veteran-owned business. Meta PCs is veteran-owned. One of Meta's owners has served in Afghanistan and Iraq and received a Purple Heart for his service. Meta also employs military veterans in the Meta Operations Center and also provides systems to veterans going back to school to help them re-enter the workforce all across the United States. Meta PCs also offers financing. Head on over to MetaPC at metapcs.com. Use code TheQuartering at checkout to save money and support my content. If nothing else, go configure a PC, build a little wish list, and when you're ready, remember to use code TheQuartering at checkout at MetaPCs. I know I'll be getting myself a brand new one before the end of the year. Check out metapcs.com. Hey, you might not need a new computer right now. You might not be a gamer, but when you're ready, check out Meta PCs. Use my promo code to save some money. This via that umbrella guy. Marvel Show Media is still pretending press members, aka critics, loved Eternals and trolls were the ones review brigading. Meanwhile, critics gave it a 48% and rotten. You saw this article by Kevin Felt. Review brigading Eternals gets review brigaded for LGBTQ relationship. Except the fans think it's just fine at an 81%. I'm actually not sure what it is now, but it's right where I figured it would be. It's at 80, so it's slowly sliding down. What did I say this movie would be? Between 70, like in the 70s, mid to high 70s. We're at 80% right now. If we look at all audience, I think you actually have to click on, they make this confusing how to actually get the number. If you click on the 80, you go to all audiences at 81 with 10,000 reviews. The people that actually saw it, 80%. That's probably, like I said, the movie's probably going to end up at 75. And to be totally honest, that's probably an above average scale. I think everyone treats Marvel with kids' gloves because, we just still like our superheroes making stuff go boom. Critics with 300 reviews hated it, said it sucked. Doesn't matter who you look at, though. You look at Deadline, Eternals won't be playing. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Look at Iona or Gizmodo, left-wing media outlet. Eternal still smashes the box office, Marvel style. The studio's poorly reviewed superhero flick managed to make more than 70 million in its opening weekend. Now, let me be very clear. This movie has to make 400 million to break even. And I don't believe the Eternals are going to be driving any Disney Plus subscriptions like Black Widow did. What I think is curious is, right, Eternal smashes box office. Here's a Business Insider, which is a garbage website. Eternals debuted with the lowest U.S. box office for a Marvel studio in 6 years. I mean, which is it? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people complain about, like, oh, YouTubers, we cover the negative stuff more often. And I do agree that, it's more fun to dunk on stuff. But, like, poor reviews and subpar audience reactions could derail its future performance as well. But the audience reactions, at least according to Rotten Tomatoes, seem fine. Now, the Rotten Tomatoes scores, I think, are artificially high. And this is why this is my theory. Critics gave it a 50, 48 or something, 47, 48. The movie's not a 48. It just isn't. I've seen it. To me, it's probably a 6, 5.5 to 6.5 area. I'd have to see it again to really, because it's just, when you watch it, there's just like so much going on and you don't really know what you're supposed to care about. And none of it's very good, but the movie is not a 4. I don't believe that. And this, again, I'm not a professional movie reviewer. That's why I don't do movie reviews very often on this channel. Exceedingly rare. In general, I'll do a movie review if I really like a movie, which, those don't do well on YouTube either. But, it's also saying it likely won't be approved for release in China, which would impact its global box office. I mean, 50% of its box office probably came from China. Marvel's Eternal opened with $71 million at the U.S. box office over the weekend, making it the 4th biggest domestic debut of the post-lockdown era. It's a solid start by post-lockdown standards as the theatrical industry slowly recovers, but it's underwhelming by Marvel Cinematic Universe standards. But wait, I thought it smashed the box office Marvel style. Which is it? Other MCU entries like Black Widow and Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, opened with $80 million and $75 million. So it's the worst of the Marvel openings in the post-lockdown era. Now, the latter earned $94 million, but it had a Labor Day weekend, holiday weekend to help bolster it. Eternals opened on the low end of some analysts' projections. Sean Robbins, the chief analyst of Box Office Pro, projected $78 million, but noted a range between $68 and $88 million. He said in his Thursday forecast that negative reviews had dented social traction and pre-sales momentum. The movie is the worst reviewed MCU film yet, with a 48% Rotten Tomatoes critic score. It also received a B-grade cinema score, which is the worst yet for a Marvel movie. Paul Darnalonga Ding Dong, the ComScore senior media analyst, told Insider last week that audience sentiment will be important for its long-term box office, but with poor reviews and subpar audience reactions, it may not have the kind of positive word of mouth that Shang-Chi did. And Shang-Chi did reach its, a point where you could probably call it a success. They also wrote that I would be surprised if Eternals got released in China, given, the controversy has gotten a lot of attention. It's been a rallying cry for Chinese netizens. The movie so far has grossed $161 million worldwide. That's solid. $161 million worldwide is solid. I don't think it's going to be enough to hit $450 million, though. I don't know. The second week is going to be really if we see a huge drop in the second week, Disney is not going to be happy. The Age of the Eternals is here. The Chloe Zhao MCU epic just hit theaters to the world is talking about it for better or worse. The film has received largely a lackluster critical response, becoming Marvel's lowest ranked movie on Rotten Tomatoes. The divisive nature of the project has got a lot of people talking. Review brigades hit Eternals hard leading up to its release. By critics? By critics? Now, according to Deadline, an edited version of the Eternals will release in various Middle Eastern markets like Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates. This censored cut will remove any instances of intimacy, whether they be hetero or gay. The practice is common in these markets. While it is a bummer, now this is via the Direct and also MCU Direct. I don't know if they're the same things. While it's a bummer that Disney had to edit the film in some markets, it's not as bad as it seems. While we'll look at the headline, see the House of Mouse caving to a certain part of the world and take to their Twitter accounts, but that isn't necessarily the case. Marvel Studios has said that it will not bend the knee to a few requests of extreme censorship on the project. In places like Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and Oman, the studio was asked to make further cuts, not only pertaining to the intimacy shown in the film. Thus, those nations were not issued distribution certificates. Okay. I mean, so the film was edited. The stunning and brave, like guy on guy action, that got edited. There were a few things where they didn't like depictions of the gods, where the edit was probably impossible to make. Like, it wasn't a matter of Disney putting their foot down. It was a matter of Disney saying, I don't even know how to edit this. I can't depict gods or whatever it is that you say. Like, it's probably not an easy thing to just swipe out of the movie. So while everybody was saying how stunning and brave Marvel was, they snuck this in. Now let's see if those same people praising them have anything to say about it. They won't. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.